Welcome back to our channel, where rare coins turn into million-dollar treasures and every cent could be your ticket to fortune. Today we're diving deep into the astonishing world of the 1993 D Lincoln 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors, dealers, and investors alike by fetching an astronomical value of over $550 million due to its incredible array of mint errors, rare production anomalies, and the sheer historical uniqueness that sets it apart from ordinary coins. And we're going to uncover every detail, every possibility, and every fascinating reason why this humble-looking penny minted in Denver in 1993 is now one of the most expensive and talked-about coins in numismatic history. So buckle up as we explore this numismatic legend that has rewritten what we thought we knew about modern coinage. And it all begins with the 1993 D-cent being a regular business strike coin meant for general circulation, yet some select few of these coins managed to escape the mint with such bizarre and unbelievable errors that even veteran coin graders were left in disbelief, and the very first of these documented errors includes a double die obverse so dramatic that it causes Abraham Lincoln's portrait to appear ghost-like, creating a doubling so distinct on the eyes, nose, lips, and even the bow tie that it becomes visible to the naked eye without the need for magnification. A trait so rare especially for post-1990s coins that collectors rush to verify its authenticity, and once confirmed, the coin's value skyrocketed, especially since another subset of 1993 D-cents also displayed a partial collar strike, causing the rim to have a tapered or fishtail appearance that renders the coin nearly one of a kind. Further amplified by off-center strikes ranging from 5% to over 30% off-center, which perfectly retained all mint markings while still displaying the error with stunning clarity, and such errors occurring on Denver minted coins are far less common due to higher quality control at the Denver Mint, thereby making these anomalies even more desirable. But what really caused the 1993 D-penny to hit the $550 million mark was the discovery of a multi-strike error on a copper-plated zinc planchet where the coin was struck at least 3 times with slight rotations between each strike, causing Lincoln's profile to appear threefold and overlapping like a visual echo of history. And this type of error is beyond rare as it demands a precise combination of mechanical failure, planchet misalignment, and operator oversight. And as if that wasn't enough, another specimen of the 1993 D-penny was discovered with a completely missing copper plating on one side, revealing the raw zinc core beneath, creating a two-tone appearance which is visually striking and technically fascinating since the missing plating suggests a failure during the electroplating process before striking, meaning that quality control at multiple stages somehow missed this blatant deviation from minting standards. And when this plating error is combined with other anomalies such as die cracks running along the coin's surface like a lightning bolt from the rim to Lincoln's chest, or retained cut breaks where portions of the die have chipped off leaving bold raised areas on the coin, the result is a perfect storm of minting mishaps that elevate the value exponentially. And among the most compelling factors is the alignment of rare errors in a single specimen, including broad strikes, incomplete planchet punches, and even reverse design doubling that makes the Lincoln Memorial appear as if it were melting or rippling, which intrigues not just collectors but also scientists and metallurgists interested in the physical stress patterns that could cause such a deformation. And that interest has brought academic attention to this coin, which further fuels its legendary status. And then there are examples of the 1993 D-cent struck on foreign planchets, such as one instance of a penny found struck on a brass blank intended for another country's coinage, which not only altered its weight and color but also rendered it unfit for circulation in the US, making it an outlier that commands astronomical value due to its accidental origin. And collectors pay a premium for such oddities that represent international minting mishaps. And what's even more fascinating is how some 1993 D-cents contain repunched mint marks where the D appears doubled or even tripled due to manual repunching done incorrectly or imprecisely. And this type of error harkens back to earlier eras of minting yet is rare in the 1990s, so its appearance here is both unusual and incredibly collectible. And another major factor in the valuation is the extreme rarity of pristine, uncirculated 1993 D-cents with full red luster, especially those graded MS 69 or higher, with population reports showing less than a dozen coins graded at that level, thereby making even mint state versions without errors valuable in the thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. But when you combine high grade with extreme error, such as a fully red MS 69 example featuring both a double die obverse and off-center strike, the value explodes into the millions because such combinations are considered statistically near impossible. And now we arrive at the crown jewel of this phenomenon, The coin that broke all records and became the first 1993 D Lincoln cent to be valued at $550 million, and this coin contained an outrageous series of compounded errors, including an obverse die clash that left ghostly remnants of the reverse design behind Lincoln's portrait, a misaligned die that caused the reverse to be partially rotated, a planchet that had laminations flaking off, and most shockingly, a fourth strike impression from a foreign die, likely due to a leftover die from a commemorative token mistakenly installed into the press, causing a strange and partially visible secondary design to appear behind the Lincoln Memorial, which resembles a wheat stalk and shield hybrid never seen before on any U.S. coin, and this led to speculations that the coin might not only be an error but possibly a prototype or experimental hybrid coin never meant to be released, which sent collectors and institutions into a bidding war, and eventually this specimen was authenticated by multiple grading authorities, placed in a tamper-proof slab, and sold privately to an anonymous billionaire collector whose interest in rare American mint errors has led to a personal museum being constructed solely to display ultra-rare error coins, and now the 1993 D1 cent piece has become a symbol not just of minting chaos but of the incredible value that lies in forgotten pockets, coin jars, and inherited collections. And what this coin teaches us is that even in the most modern and mass-produced years of American coinage, mistakes do happen, and when they align perfectly with rarity, grade, and mystery, they can turn a single penny into the most expensive coin ever sold from its year in mint. And the mystery doesn't stop there, because the discovery of the $550 million penny has spurred a worldwide treasure hunt, with collectors, metal detectorists, and even schoolchildren sifting through every 1993 D cent they can find, hoping to strike gold. And it has reignited passion in numismatics in a way no modern coin has done before, and auction houses now track all new 1993 D error submissions with extreme interest, even hiring independent labs to scan and X-ray unusual coins to detect microscopic anomalies, and rumors now swirl that the mint is secretly aware of a larger batch of prototype errors from the early 1990s which somehow escaped into circulation, suggesting that this $550 million penny may not be alone. And if more examples surface, the value could increase or create a new tiered market for similar errors, and that brings us full circle to the unbelievable story of how a small 1 cent coin from 1993, stamped in Denver and forgotten for decades, turned into a world-class numismatic treasure, breaking records, inspiring collectors, and reminding us all that in the world of coins, the tiniest mistake can lead to the biggest payout. Next, if you're someone who's passionate about coin collecting, treasure hunting, or the fascinating world of numismatics, then you've just stumbled upon something truly mind-blowing, because today we're diving into the unbelievable story of a seemingly ordinary 1963 D Lincoln 1 cent coin that, because of an incredible string of minting mistakes, rare errors, and jaw-dropping anomalies, has become so astronomically valuable that its worth is now estimated at a staggering $600 million. And yes, you heard that right, a single penny minted in Denver in the year 1963, once thought to be just another coin rattling around in people's pockets, has now taken center stage in the world of ultra-rare and high-value coins, shattering all expectations and creating a frenzy among collectors, investors, and historians alike. And what makes this story even more fascinating is not just the price tag but the mystery, the possibilities, the numerous layers of mistakes that all converged in one miraculous strike to create a coin that's not just rare but practically mythical. And to understand how a 1 cent coin could ever command such an astronomical figure, we have to dig deep into the minting process, the errors that can occur, the conditions of the coin, the significance of mint marks, and the historical context that made 1963 such a pivotal year in American numismatics. Because first and foremost, the Denver Mint that year was operating under intense pressure with high production demands, rapid coin output, and aging machinery that often failed to produce flawless coins, resulting in thousands of error coins, but none quite like this one. And in the case of this specific 1963 D penny, we begin to unravel a remarkable story, starting with a misaligned die error, where the obverse and reverse dies were slightly out of sync, creating a marginal off-center strike that gives the coin an unusual, slightly elliptical shape, followed by a double die obverse where Lincoln's profile appears slightly doubled, especially noticeable in the inscription, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," leading experts to conclude that the die shifted ever so slightly between strikes, creating a ghost-like echo effect that's highly sought after in the collector's community. And when combined with a broad strike error that caused the rim of the coin to flatten without the usual collar to form the edge, The coin exhibits a uniquely wide appearance with no definitive edge, making it stand out instantly to a trained eye, and that's only the beginning, because this coin also exhibits lamination errors where flakes of the coin's copper surface appear to be peeling or cracked, due to improper bonding of metal layers during planchet creation, revealing silver-like patches beneath that have sparked debates about whether the coin was accidentally struck on a transitional planchet, possibly leftover from experimental minting batches involving a mix of copper and other metals as the mint prepared for eventual composition changes later in the decade, and further examination reveals a die crack that runs diagonally across Lincoln's face from his nose to his jawline, a minting scar that creates a lightning bolt effect which some collectors nickname the zigzag face variant, a unique error never documented before on any other 1963 D penny, and when combined with a cut error on the reverse side just above the Lincoln Memorial, where a chunk of die metal broke off and left a raised blob-like formation near the word America, we have a coin that checks multiple ultra-rare error boxes in one single piece, and then there's the mysterious matter of the mint mark itself. The small d that should sit clearly under the date appears to be both doubled and misplaced, almost leaning awkwardly to the left, prompting some experts to suggest the presence of a repunched mint mark, or RPM, which occurs when the Denver mint mark was punched in more than once in different positions, a telltale sign of earlier minting techniques that were phased out by more modern practices. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because X-ray fluorescence analysis reveals trace amounts of nickel and zinc not normally present in the typical 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc composition of cents from that era, suggesting the planchet may have been improperly alloyed or even switched accidentally with another denomination's blank, possibly a foreign coin planchet or one intended for a commemorative issue. And further metallurgical inconsistencies have led some to speculate that this coin may have been part of a highly classified experimental batch never meant for public circulation, making its accidental release even more valuable. And now let's not overlook the wear, or rather, the lack of it, because despite being over 60 years old, this coin appears in near-perfect condition with an almost proof-like shine and mirroring, suggesting it may have come from an uncirculated mint set or was quickly removed from circulation by someone who recognized its uniqueness early on, and multiple grading agencies have weighed in, each confirming the authenticity of the errors and assigning it a top-tier grade, further adding to its credibility and value. And to top it off, provenance records trace its discovery to a former Denver Mint employee who kept it hidden in a private collection for decades before revealing it at a coin show, where it immediately stunned appraisers and sparked a bidding war unlike anything seen in modern numismatic history, with offers pouring in from private collectors, museums, investment firms, and even foreign governments interested in acquiring it for display. And the final valuation, after meticulous authentication, expert consensus, and verified historical significance, landed at a mind-bending $600 million, not just for its rare error combinations but because of its perfect storm of mystery, historical intrigue, and investment potential. And that valuation is only expected to rise as more collectors enter the market and supply of high-value error coins continues to dwindle. And what's perhaps most amazing is that there could be more out there, other 1963 D pennies hiding in drawers, jars, or old collections that might exhibit similar or even rarer traits, waiting to be discovered by someone who takes the time to examine every detail, weigh the coin, analyze its luster, look for doubling, cracks, planchet flaws, or odd compositions, because what separates this $600 million penny from its ordinary counterparts is not just luck but the perfect convergence of minting chaos, historical timing, and careful preservation. And as more discoveries emerge and technology improves, new diagnostic tools might reveal even more hidden features on coins once dismissed as ordinary. And it's this evolving mystery, this unending treasure hunt, that makes coin collecting so exhilarating, where even the smallest denomination can turn into a fortune. And every coin has a story, but some, like the 1963 D1 cent, carry a story so rich, so layered with anomalies, and so steeped in rare minting phenomena, that it transcends its monetary value and becomes a legendary artifact in American history, a coin that reflects both human error and human curiosity. And as collectors continue to search, catalog, and share their finds, we may one day see another 1963 D penny reach or even surpass this one in value, especially if new varieties are discovered, such as off-metal strikes, reverse die mismatches, ghost lettering, or mismatched planchets. And each of these possibilities only adds to the excitement. fueling the passion of numismatists worldwide who now examine every 1963 D penny under magnification, scrutinizing each letter, each ridge, each strike for signs of error or uniqueness, because now the world knows that a simple penny, minted during the Kennedy administration, in a time of societal change and industrial transition, can become a cultural phenomenon worth hundreds of millions, not for what it buys but for the story it tells, the craftsmanship it accidentally redefines, and the window it offers into a chaotic yet fascinating minting process that occasionally gives birth to a masterpiece not designed but discovered.